regards to changing our thoughts, the first thing I would say to you is that the majority of people are far too tolerant of their mind doing whatever the heck the mind wants to do, okay? You have to literally become so serious and so committed about what goes on between these two ears and the most precious real estate that you've got, that you just are really conscious of what the mind is automatically producing, what are the patterns that you're running, what does your mind do in certain scenarios, what are the triggers that send your mind into those kind of patterns, and that you literally see yourself, your awareness, as the leader of your life, and that this is a tool. Like this whole mind-body situation you've got going on is like a vehicle that you're driving, and that you get that committed to managing your mind and directing your mind for your benefit like it is a precision tool, okay? If you are a little bit lax and you don't manage your mind and you don't utilize your mind like the powerful tool it is, then it will just kind of do whatever it's going to do. It will behave in alignment with whatever information your subconscious has absorbed from the past or from other people or from whatever's going on around you. And you just won't get the kind of results you want. You won't feel great because most of your feelings are arising out of your thought patterns, and you won't take the kind of actions you want to create the results that you want because your thoughts and feelings incline your actions. Okay, so it's really, really important that you become intolerant of your mind wandering all over the place, and you get in charge of it and you become committed and serious about using it like the precision tool that it truly is. The next thing to know is that, carrying on from what I've just said, is that your mind is not who you are and your thoughts are not who you are. And this is why people get caught and their mind just goes all over the place, because they're kind of lost in it. What you want to remember is that your consciousness, you're the awareness that can observe yourself. If you close your eyes and you sat for 2 minutes, and at the end of that I asked you to open your eyes and tell me what you were thinking about, you would be able to tell me the thoughts that you had. The reason you're able to do that is because something else is present beyond your thoughts in order for that something to watch your thoughts and observe them. There's two things. There's the noise of your mind, the patterns, the thoughts, and there's your awareness watching them. That is your gateway to peace, that is your gateway to freedom, that is your liberation, that is your point of power. Because if you're the awareness, that means you can watch what your mind's doing, interrupt it when it's doing things you don't want, and redirect it in ways that work for you, okay? And that's what we're talking about, that serious commitment to living from the awareness. Now, what you want to know is, when we talk about how do I change my thoughts and, being frustrated with thoughts that you don't really want to be having, you want to know that those thoughts aren't who you are. They're really the result of a conditioned mind that you have. When you're born, your little soul comes into your body and you take up residence in this vehicle of mind and body and you begin your life, you're constantly conditioned from the day that you're born. Okay, we're conditioned by the people around us, by experiences, by society, and it begins from the moment that you're consciously aware in your body. It goes right through early childhood, right through your schooling, right into your relationships as a young adult, right into your workplace, and you're absorbing what's going on around you and you're trying to make sense of life, okay? And largely what you're picking up that's driving your thoughts are not truly beliefs from your divine nature. They're beliefs that have been put upon you that you've kind of taken on board from other people. The good news is that you can give back what doesn't belong to you. And you want to know that it's not your fault that happened. That's just what happens to everybody, but it is your responsibility right now to do something about it. To identify what of all of that doesn't work for you and begin to interrupt it and create the thought patterns that do work for you, okay? So the conditioned mind is not who you are, and you have the ability, just like it was conditioned in the first place, to recondition it. You recondition it with your awareness, noticing what doesn't work for you, interrupting it with serious commitment, and retraining it, okay? Retraining it into ways that work for you. So when we talk about how to change our thoughts, I'm going to tell you just a really simple little equation that I use to describe how you function, okay? The way that you function is, you want to think of your mind, it's like a little computer and it's been coded with beliefs, what you believe about life in the world. Sometimes those beliefs are conscious, sometimes those beliefs are deeply buried and subconscious and you may not even be aware of them. Your beliefs are like the foundation of what I call your equation for creation. They are where your entire life stems from, okay? Your beliefs give rise to the types of thoughts that you're having. Your thoughts then give rise to the majority of the feelings that you're experiencing day to day, and because of those thoughts and feelings, they incline you towards certain actions. Your actions are then creating results, and that is how your life creates around you. Beliefs driving thoughts, driving feelings, driving actions, creating outcomes. Okay? If you don't like the outcomes that you're having, you don't look to your feelings, and you don't even really look to your thoughts, you look to your beliefs. If you don't like the way you're feeling, likewise you step back in the equation and you say, well, how am I thinking? And even one step back, what am I believing that's driving those thoughts? So when we say, how do I change my thoughts? You've got to understand that the majority of your thoughts are just arising automatically out of your belief coding. What you truly believe about yourself, about life, and other people is giving rise to those thoughts. If you try and play around with changing your thoughts without any real understanding of why you'd even be thinking that way, then it's kind of like sticking a plaster over a gaping wound. You don't really know what you're addressing, and you're kind of in this mysterious dark, and you don't understand why your mind's spitting out all these thoughts that don't work for you. So it's really about any time you want to create transformation in yourself, you want to go to the root cause, and in the equation for creation it goes beliefs, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. So in this situation, we're talking about changing your thoughts, and you want to step back to the beginning of the equation and understand that they're springing forth from your belief patterns, okay? So you want to be asking yourself, what are the thoughts that I most want to change? Have I got negative thoughts about my body? Have I got negative thoughts about my ability to succeed in my career? Have I got negative thoughts about other people? Have I got negative thoughts about money? Whatever it is that you're doing, pick the topic, and let's just pick one, because you might have negative thoughts about lots of things, but pick one. In relation to that, you want to say, well, if I've got negative thoughts about money, for example, what do I believe about money? Or if I've got negative thoughts about my body, what do I believe about myself and my body? Because that's what's driving the thought patterns. So you want to think back, and you want to look at your life today, and you want to think and say, well, what do I truly believe about that area? And you want to unpick it, and you want to say, well, do I have healthy beliefs about the physical body? Do I have healthy beliefs about money? Do I have healthy beliefs about other people? Do I have healthy beliefs about whether I'm good enough, worthy, and deserving? These are the kinds of things that drive the thought patterns, okay? The foundational beliefs that every single person needs to have in order to live a balanced, healthy life are these. I am enough, I am good enough, I am worthy, I am deserving, I am whole and complete, I am supported, and I am connected. Those are fundamental beliefs that are necessary, okay, in order for you to thrive. So that's a really good starting place to work from in terms of your beliefs, and then you can add to that when you're looking at your thoughts, stepping back to understand what you truly believe that might be driving those. Then what you want to do is you can even unpack that a little bit further, and you want to say, how early can I remember in my life having negative limiting beliefs and thought patterns about this kind of thing? About my body, about myself, about money, about my ability to do things, about whether I'm clever enough or smart enough, or whatever it is that's driving these thought patterns. Because there's usually at least one, if not multiple things that occur in your childhood that trigger these kinds of limiting beliefs and thought patterns, okay? It's almost always within the age range sort of from birth until 7 or 8 years old. There's usually something that occurs. And you know what? It's not a big deal about whether you pinpoint it, but it's interesting, because once you see what causes where your negative beliefs came from, and that they don't really belong to you, and it was an accidental interpretation of a child who was doing their best to make sense of this world, and that's what's driving the majority of your negative thought patterns as an adult, there's so much relief in that. You cannot heal and fix what you do not understand. You just can't. It's like having something physically wrong in your body and then just scoffing every medication you can get your hands on, hoping it's going to fix it. It's like, it's not a targeted process, okay? When you can see clearly where something comes from, you get a massive shift in that moment, okay? There's a lot of power in it, a lot of release happens, and that I have seen have a powerful impact when people are trying to change their thought patterns. and when they're ingraining new beliefs, is to understand where it comes from. The next most important thing with changing your thoughts, now that you've identified the types of beliefs that you might have that are underpinning those thought patterns, limitations about what you believe about yourself, other people, and about life, is to know that it's not true. You have to know, even at a logical level, even if you don't resonate emotionally with it yet, you have to be able to logically look at that belief that's driving those thought patterns and say, this belief is a misperception. Because you're a divine being and the universe doesn't make mistakes, and so you're created divine, you're created good enough, worthy, deserving, whole and complete, supported, connected. From the day that you're born, you were that way and you're still that way. Any limiting beliefs that you've accidentally picked up, you did your best to try to interpret life in the world and you accidentally picked up beliefs from other people or from experience, you have to understand they don't belong to you. That you didn't arrive with them, they're accidental baggage, and that therefore they're not true. And that at some level, in your soul level, even if you don't believe in your personality self, at your soul level, that you are all of the positive, true beliefs about yourself. Good enough, worthy, deserving, connected, whole and complete, good, etc. Okay, so when you can see where it comes from, understand it's not true, accept the truth about yourself, you're at the beginning of creating a massive shift. Because from that new perception, you have now got power to ingrain truly helpful thoughts, truly helpful beliefs that drive truly helpful thought patterns. If you just try and fiddle around with your thoughts and you've got a toxic set of beliefs underneath, you can see it doesn't really work. I always say it's like taking a seed for a beautiful flower and trying to plant it into a toxic bed of soil, like septic soil that hasn't been nourished, that doesn't have any fertilizer, that doesn't have any compost on it, and then hoping that that little seed is going to grow, that it's going to take root and it's going to grow. It doesn't work. You have to plow the flower bed and you have to nourish that soil and make sure that that soil is healthy and good, and then you plant the flower, plant the seed, and it flourishes. So with your thoughts, just trying to fiddle around with your thoughts and not really truly understanding what you believe about yourself, other people in life, is not as effective. It's possible to get some change, but I'm talking about real transformation. So when you understand that those beliefs that you've been holding that drive those thoughts aren't true about yourself, and you're willing to, even at a logical level, accept that they're not true and start to ingrain the beliefs that work for you, you've really got opportunity, okay? So the best way to move forward from there, once you've identified those beliefs that are underpinning those thought patterns, is to completely flip them. And understanding they're not true, you simply reinforce the truth about yourself from the day that you were born. The day that I was born, I was good enough, I was worthy, I was whole and complete, I was beautiful, I was connected, I was supported. Nothing has changed between now and then except I got a little bit bigger, I grew into an adult, and I'm going to reinforce my divine true nature, and that is going to reinforce the beliefs that are healthy and positive, that help me thrive, and that will help me to ingrain the thought patterns that best work for me. If you're on my website, you're on my YouTube channel, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of affirmations, because the affirmations will reinforce to you the truth about who you really are, and they will ingrain in your mindset the types of thoughts that you want to be having. And when you ingrain with the affirmations in conjunction with doing an exercise around your beliefs, that combined together is serious springboard and leverage forward. And a final thing around how to change your thoughts is when you've gone through that process and now you understand what the beliefs were that you were carrying that you don't want anymore, you've chosen to accept the beliefs about yourself that are healthy and true, and you're using things like affirmations to reinforce thought patterns into your mind that support and align to those true beliefs about yourself. What you need to be aware of as you go out into your daily life is that things may occur that trigger you. And it may trigger some of the old patterning that you're rewriting within yourself, okay? The affirmations and the new beliefs that you're ingraining in yourself will take a hold, and the roots will go down, and you're creating an embedding of that. But there is usually a little overlap where the old stuff may get triggered by events, situations, and may pop up in your mind. What you want to do is you want to be ready for it, and you want to proactively interrupt it the second it comes up. And you interrupt it by doing this. You notice the thought with your awareness, and you say, that's not true. That comes out of an old mindset. Those are old beliefs that don't belong to me. That's not who I am. Who I am is, and then you repeat all of your accurate, true beliefs about yourself. Who I am is beautiful. Who I am is I love my body. Who I am is I'm wealthy and abundant. Who I am is good enough. Who I am is worthy. Who I am is deserving. Who I am is whole and complete, connected and supported, successful, whatever it might be for you. And then you repeat those affirmations over and over again. But you have to be consciously alert to your mind's behavior, be intolerant of it wandering all over the place, and put it into practice in your daily life. Where the rubber meets the road is when you get triggered out there in your life and you choose differently. You don't choose that old stuff. You say, that is not who I am. This is who I am. And then you bring it to life in that moment. So I hope this has been helpful. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel if you're here on YouTube, so that we can stay in touch and you can receive the regular tips, tools, vlogs and resources that I'm releasing here. I have daily inspiration, everyday short videos and weekly vlogs for transformation to help you unleash your inner peace, your freedom and your success. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.